Welcome in, Seahawks fans. This is Seahawks Today by Chat Sports. I'm Meghan Payton. Coming up, I'm going to tell you how you can be featured on our show. Make sure you have your phones ready, and we are going to get into this later in today's video. Now, it may be offseason for the Seattle Seahawks, but the trade rumors, free agency rumors, they keep on coming. And the latest one is surrounding DK Metcalf. Guys, Russell Wilson's taken a break from the rumors, but DK Metcalf has now officially entered it. Reports from Sports Illustrated suggest that Seahawks should at least look into trading DK Metcalf. Entering the last year of his rookie deal, it's expected that he's probably going to want an extension, and a very hefty extension. So I'm wondering whether or not the Seahawks are A, willing to pay that price for DK Metcalf, and B, are they going to do it by the start of the season? Should the Seahawks go a different path? I'm not necessarily suggesting it, but Sports Illustrated did bring up a good point. They said in their article, are the Seahawks going to trade Metcalf? Almost definitely not. But should they be open to it and even have discussions with other teams about it? Absolutely. Unequivocally, yes. Leveraging on asset to garner the most possible value is a general manager's job. And by not even considering it, Schneider would not be doing his job properly. So it's very interesting, and obviously this doesn't mean anything to say that DK's definitely getting traded or even anything close to that, but they did bring up a good point. So I'm going to talk to you guys about my opinion, but first I'm asking you, should the Seahawks trade DK Metcalf? This is our pinned comment in today's show. Take advantage of the ad break right here if you get it. Go on down to the comments. Let me know what you think. Type T for trade or type K for keep. I think you keep DK at all costs. I know he's going to be expensive, but there's a reason why he's going to be expensive. It's because he's really good. And I know that this year Russell Wilson struggled a bit connecting with him, but most of that honestly was on Russ. DK Metcalf is a star wide receiver, and a guy like him is going to want a lot of money. That's expected. Look at his career stats, guys. Obviously, still on the rookie deal, over 3,000 yards, almost 30 touchdowns. He is arguably, I'd say, at least a top 10 receiver in the league. So he's going to get paid. He deserves to get paid, and he knows it too. Metcalf was asked about his contract extension. He's not very worried, though. He says, it's going to get done, in my opinion. I'm just going to let the chips fall where they may and let God and the Seahawks and my agent take care of the rest. I know everything is going to work out just fine. It is going to work out just fine, but DK Metcalf is going to want, I think, close to $20 million a year. Does he deserve that? Probably. Should the Seahawks pay that? They should, but also can they afford it, and is it worth it with the roster and the way that they're running their offense? You look at the highest paid wide receivers in the league per year. Hopkins at the top at 27.25. You can look at this list. You've got some star guys, Julio Jones, Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper, Michael Thomas, and DK Metcalf is in this group. I don't know if he belongs right there in the top 5, but he's at least top 10. So without a doubt in my mind, he's going to want somewhere close to $20 million. And maybe the Seahawks can leverage it a bit and get him down a couple of mil to $18 million. Honestly, though, if they want to keep him, they're going to have to pay him. And so I think it's worth it, though. You want to keep a guy like DK on your roster, especially with how young he is, how much potential he has. Not to mention, he's a guy that stayed very healthy, knock on wood, not missing one career game yet so far. All right, guys, switching gears here. I told you how you can be featured on Seahawks Today. Right now, here's how you do it. Go recommend our channel to 3 friends. I told you take your phones out. So right now, go text a buddy, 3 of them. Let them know about our show. Screenshot that and send it to me on Twitter. It's at Meghan Payton 7. Once you do that, we will show that photo on a future Seahawks Today video and shout you guys out. I appreciate all the subscribers. That's youtube.com/SeahawksTV if you have not subscribed already. Also, you can click that big red button whatever's easiest for you, but make sure you are in the know on all things Seahawks. It might be the offseason, but we are going to keep talking Seattle news and rumors. And by the way, we do have some more news for you guys coming from Ian Rappaport talking Quandre Diggs and the surgery that he went through. He says Seahawks Pro Bowl safety Quandre Diggs underwent successful surgery yesterday from noted expert Dr. Robert Anderson to repair his broken fibula and dislocated ankle, source said. The surgery went well with no complications, and he is expected to have a 4 to 5 month recovery. Now, a little longer than I think we originally thought, maybe 3 to 4 months was my hope. Quandre Diggs is feeling good, though. He said surgery was a success. Super grateful. Thank you all. Now, he's obviously in a tough position, and I know he's hurting right now. You can't not be physically and mentally. It was a really bad time for him to get hurt. So I'm hoping the Seahawks do him right. We're going to talk about what they need to do to re-sign him, if they should. But first, I've got a great deal to tell you guys about over at BetUS. The Seahawks season might be over, but there is plenty of games to bet on, and this deal is a deal you do not want to miss out on. If you guys go to chatsports.com/bet, you've got to use our promo code. That's Seahawks125. So here's the deal. You go bet on any game of your choice. You sign up, you'll get a deposit bonus of 125%. So hear me out. That means you put up $100. That turns into $225. You've got free money. Go bet on whatever you'd like. That's a free $125. Maybe let's go bet on the NFC title. I'm telling you right now, bet against the NFC West. That is just not good luck, good odds for the Seahawks. I like betting someone like the Packers or the Bucks. I honestly think there's a reason why they are stronger favorites anyway. But this is, I think, a fun bet that you guys can go put up. You've got Packers at plus 170, Bucks at plus 330. Go down the list. Do whatever you'd like. Just whatever you do. Do not bet on the NFC West, guys. But check out chatsports.com/bet. That promo code is Seahawks125. All right, back to Quandre Diggs. So, of course, we know about the injury, but we also know that he is a free agent. USA Today writer Tim Weaver named Diggs as the top player for the Seahawks to resign. Seattle could consider using a franchise tag on him. This is a situation where you think about franchise tags in the league, and no, do they work out for a player's benefit? Most of the time, not really. But here is a very specific situation where it wouldn't have been in Diggs' favor, 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, before he got injured. Most of the time, players do not like a franchise tag because what that does is it allows a team to keep them and only pay them for 1 year. So if a situation happens where they get hurt the following year, well, Seahawks can say, all right, goodbye. And another team they don't have to pay him. And then now he is again out trying to shop the market. However, though, this may be Quandre Diggs' best option if they want to use the franchise tag on him, pay him 1 year, see how he's doing health-wise. And then if they like him, then again, renegotiate and do that contract extension. Then I don't know if the Seahawks are going to do that to him. I could still see them paying him that full deal, giving him a 4 or 5 year deal. I think he's definitely proven himself without a doubt. Quandre Diggs, in my opinion, held this Seahawks defense together, maybe on his own. You look at these stats, especially this past year, I'd say in 2020 as well, he really stood out. He had 5 interceptions both in 2021 and in 2020. So I think the Seahawks should pay him, and I would love to see him back on the roster. Happy, though. I don't know how happy he would be about a franchise tag. So if you want Quandre Diggs back in Seattle, let's go show him some love in the comments. Go type Diggs right now if you want Quandre Diggs in Seattle. Now, it might not be up to Pete Carroll, but it's looking like it will be. There's still been some speculation regarding Pete Carroll and whether or not he is going to be the head coach of the Seahawks come next season. Now, it still does seem like it's going to be the case that he'll be in Seattle. Now, he is supposed to meet with Jody Allen. We heard today, but now we're hearing it's actually going to happen tomorrow. Bob Condata on Twitter said, my understanding is the usual end of this season meeting between Pete Carroll and Jody Allen didn't happen today and hasn't happened yet. There's nothing to read into, though, that this hasn't happened yet, other than that there was speculation it might happen today. All indications are still that the major brain trust of the team will return, but obviously there's still lots to talk about in terms of overall plan going forward, etc. So as Bob Condotta is pretty much saying, I agree. I think that Pete Carroll's safe. I think that John Schneider is safe. I think that the top guys in this organization are going to remain at their current positions. Jeremy Fowler from ESPN agrees with this, pretty much saying that the feeling in some league circles is that Pete Carroll is safe. He's not ready to retire, and the Seahawks would have major guts to fire a legend outright. But that it might be time for Carroll to concede personnel final say to John Schneider. The two work together seamlessly anyway, so the transition would be easy. Now, that is a good point that Fowler brought up, that maybe it's time that Pete Carroll doesn't have as much say in the organization calls. Maybe he sticks to really just the players and the contracts and what's happening there, works with Schneider, obviously, on a day-to-day basis, but stays out of maybe the organization cause. I'm okay with that. I do think Pete Carroll doesn't deserve to get fired this year. Neither does John Schneider. They had a rough year. This year in 2022 will be really telling, I'd say, to both of their careers. Now, of course, more news will be coming out shortly about Pete Carroll. So now is the time, if you have not subscribed to our channel. We are on a goal right now. We're on a mission to get to 24,000 subscribers. We're currently at 23,708. So you guys can do us a huge favor. Help us out here. We want to get to 24K by the end of the week. So go to youtube.com/Seahawks TV or click that big red button. We do have more Seahawks injury updates for you. Positive things, guys. I know the Quandre Diggs was a bit of a downer, but Pete Carroll gave us an update on Jamal Adams and Chris Carson. If you forgot about them, well, pretty much in a good place. He says Jamal Adams is going to be such a significant part as we come back. I haven't talked to Chris in a little bit. I messaged with him, but haven't talked to him in a bit. Those guys are both as gung-ho about getting back. But anyway, they are really raring to go and expect to be back at full steam when it's time to go again at camp. So good news there. We can fully expect Chris Carson and Jamal Adams to be back and healthy as we look ahead to the 2022 season.